Okay, cool. So we're live, dude. Look at that Coca-Cola, dude. Look at this big GoPro. I spill on my computer. It's like no, dude. I would literally be like, I would like process it. You know, it's that kind of thing where it's like you have composure, right? And you know it's like you just have to accept it like immediately. You know that you have to accept it, but like there'll be part of it where it's like I like for so long, and now I just like because I thought of that, imagine that happening. Can you imagine? Okay, because I imagined that happening, and now it's like I went back in time, and that didn't happen. Where I was like, oh shit, like kind of slipped out my fingers a little bit, and then like there's not, I could see it splatter, like it almost happened in slow motion, and then because dude, if they wanted to win, they'd have to break this computer. Like in terms of like I'm one of the really good players. Like people listen to me. And also the thing is, here's the main thing that you have to understand in terms of the Narcissus a Mile Road, is that like Dan's more like Toad. Like it's less about like they want to make it like Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? Like it's less about Game of Thrones and more about like Game of Jones. Like that's why people like me and Mango become the best too. It's like people just like hanging out with you. So like that's a huge advantage. You know what I mean? The Game of Jones, 2016 Sharks. Like this guy was like from Circus Olay with it, man. Like yeah, actually, dude, Jones in 2016, Martin Jones in 2016 was unreal. Like that guy was on one, dude. Like that guy was taking Adderall. Like that guy was. Oh yeah, the thing is like with the John Jones versus DC when it got overturned because John Jones won. Like and DC was like DC actually hit him with the picogram. It's DC. Like DC put something in John's like DC like they like basically like he like put something in the water at John Jones' gym. So when John Jones went to like you know like the water fill up thing, it's like he put like enough of it in the water so John Jones would be training that day, and then he'd get thirsty at one point and be like, shit guys, like good shit, I'm about to just go get some water. And then like that was the picogram. He like poured something, he like went to the back of the gym and like lifted up the plate and like poured like the fucking Mountain Dew in there, you know, like the toxic like shit, and then it's like it would appear as like John Jones was doping. Like dude, that like it's so preposterous. The idea of John Jones doping is so preposterous. Like I know that I've heard the stories, like, but then I realized it's just hearsay. You have to realize like and it's unreal. It's unreal once you get into your adult life. Okay, the way they play. Well, like, and again, I'm doing my Twitch stream, like, or actually like our Twitch stream, right? Totally. Like Dan runs the fucking Twitch stream and the YouTube. Like that's what I'm gonna continue to do throughout the history of fucking Gozo. Like Zoe and Winter can fuck with the Instagram. Like ultimately, like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like Cody fucks with the TikTok. Like like the here's the thing. Like they realize that like this what we're up to. Like they realize like this is exactly what they realize. Exactly what they realize. Alright. So, but they realized that this is what we were up to. They realized that that's what we were up to. Me and Cody, like, right. And again, I had to like recruit, get like some of the draft picks, and now like Cody. I mean, like, cause I already had hella friends. You know, I mean, like really good friends from Stranger Things or Stephen King's It. I was already from like that like 80s movie. So like now and like really talented, like as good as Cody, you know what I mean? Ross is also really you have to look at it more like Tova too. Like Ross is so focused on like the song, and that's like largely my fault. Like Ross, you have to write the song. But then yeah. And it just became like Ross, you're gonna have to face this thing. You're gonna no, but yeah, like this was like this. Really like me and Cody, like this was the concept of Ghost Set. 100% all natural, no artificial anything. And we continue to do this. Like, I'll like re-upload the one where I have Tyler's video that got taken down because someone said it was hate speech. But I think that's just because it had both Magma Truth and Shapiro in it, and they don't actually process the argument at hand. Okay, so well, actually, someone does. Dude, who is this guy? Kadosh King. What's up, dude? Why don't you say what's your favorite kind of pizza? Kadosh King. Kardashian. What's your favorite kind of pizza? What's your favorite pizza topping? I'm just saying, like, what's your favorite pizza topping? Okay, right on. That's what's up, dude. Okay, sweet. Same here. I was gonna play some cross-second. I have Xbox Live. Do you play it? I was gonna play on Xbox. So the pepperoni mushrooms. My favorite is, dude, artichokes, artichoke hearts, salami, white sauce, garlic white sauce plus side of marinara. Basically like it's salami, which gets left on artichoke hearts, jalapenos with garlic white sauce, and then marinara on the side to dip. Okay, like basically. So it's kind of like from 8 Mile. I'm kind of like from 8 Mile with this shit. What's up, Scottish? And if you're listening, and then New York pizza, like you can be like a pizza scientist there. Like there's so many, like because you can get, it's like a very like slice driven pizza joint, which I miss actually. But once I start working at Little Caesars, I might have enough money. But yeah, like right now, like basically, like I'm spending my money like really conservatively. Like I probably only have like $10, if that, you know. And so I have to figure something out. But I think actually my parents might be more willing to like lend me money because like I really genuinely have been clean and sober. Yeah. But right on, dude, I'm gonna stream some cross-second soon. Yeah, like that John Jones. Where were we? Before we were so rudely interrupted here. Just fucking with you. Okay, so let's see here, guys. So whatever, it's all good. All right, guys. It's so nice. I showered. I am all good. I'm good to go. Yeah, but like, with cross-second, right? With Ryan, for example, like it's like he wants it to be Marvel. It's almost like he wants it to be Marvel, and it is like really tricky the things he does to win the fight, but like it's not Marvel. He doesn't have the assist to like help defend him when he teleports and stuff, and sometimes it's this he kind of is like Plup. It's kind of like really like this might work on a jabroni guy, but look, I'm just gonna press forward on the C stick right here, right now. Like Ryan, it's not gonna fly. Right? I'm actually pretty fucking good at the SF. Me and my friends are pretty fucking good at SF4 games. Like I did the SF4 build because okay, so but that was yesterday. So, all right. So, and also one thing I noticed about the Persian Empire is that they love it when you start texting and stuff. Really, just you want it, the phone call, all right? Like, all right, let me establish this. All right. So, pepperoni mushrooms bomb though. So, all right. Oh, this is nice. This one's good. That's my baby face. That's me with a baby face. Bronchu, looking great. Danny, she's good as shit. Okay. That's my Takamine. I really miss the Takamine. Oh yeah, let me finish uploading this shit to YouTube too. Yeah, but okay, right. With the whole thing with John Jones, like we were talking about like it being like war, and it was the guy who was like I was the minority, like, I was the immigrant. It was where I like, hey Bradbury, I was the like a sci-fi story I'm writing about an Italian immigrant in China, but I was like the immigrant in I don't know what tribe like what country John Jones was from, but like but if it was like say like John Jones was like also from Nigeria, like Usman, right? And I had to dip from like Ireland and get like cause some shit was going down, and I ended up like washing ashore on somehow because I didn't know what to do. Like I just went by the tide of the waves, and I ended up like on the shores of like of Nigeria, and they were hella cool. Like it was like Usman and John were like, yo, like dude, are you good? Like, and like they were like, I don't mean to be racist, but they were like speaking a different language. They were like Hatu, my God, Hatu, and then like, and then I was like, yo, like I was like hella like they were like being like Hatu, and it like meant water, you know. I was like, and then like they all like hella helped me. It was like, and then like it was like me and like in like winter in Scottish, and Max and then like we were all like from like the show I Shouldn't Be Alive, like we were adrift for like 76 days, like, and we started to like get replenished, and then now we were the minority, right? And then like there was like kind of war-ridden territory at that point. Like they were up against another African tribe, and like and but we were on their side because they we owed them our life, right? So then and I might incorporate this into Hey Bradbury, like, okay. So then, it was like John and like Usman and shit, and then it's basically like the guy. It was like, but then we had like a few people on the ship too who were like hella whack. Like they were the reason. Like they were actually less dehydrated when we got there. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones who steal the food. They're like give it to me. They're like, you know. Yeah, like they're more like a slave to their own urges, you know what I mean? Like we were living on like drops and stuff, and then there's a point where there's like, and then like around the ship's like we're in disbelief. It was let's call it like Marco. It was like Alex and Marco. Like Alex and Marco, like there was like two separate occasions where Alex and Marco like just basically like cracked. They like caved, and then it was like everyone that Ali is for was like it had been 30 days of just like drops of water, and like we were like it was like surreal that like Alex and Marco like did that shit, and then like. But ultimately, like, we watched up there, like, we owed, like, John and Usman and, like, Woodley in Mayweather, like, our lives, like, and they're all from, like, Nigeria, right? So, but then, like, like, they were actually hella cool, but then there was, like, another tribe that was, like, another tribe that were more, like, jabroni guys. They were, like, the jabroni, like, they imagined that they knew how to fight, right? And then it's, like, so like, but then like me and John were hella cool. Like we realized like, okay, like me and John are actually gonna like kind of like play off one another. Like we understand one another. So like I kind of have a good. We just in training it was like, okay, it kind of feels like, you know, we have a good synergy. Like I kind of like am coming in on the like support on your, like I have a good feel of what you're gonna do, John. So then I'm gonna do this to like cover all angles, and I already kind of know what you're gonna do in advance. Kind of I have a good like feel for this off, like I have a good feel for what you're gonna do, so, and vice versa. So me and John, it just makes sense, and then people basically are, it's like, okay, Dan and John will be at this part of the battlefield, right? Like, and then there were like people where it's like, okay, they saw Dan as the lesser man, or even in our own tribe in Nigeria, like, they saw Dan as the lesser man, and they thought John was really cool, right? But they also said, to put themselves on the same slate as John, they were like, well, John is just, even though they were the one who actually saw Dan as the lesser man, and Dan and Scottish, but in a way they kind of liked Scottish and John. He kind of liked Scottish. He did see Dan as lesser man, but to put himself on the same slate as John, he was like, well, John is really just kind of racist against fair skinned, like the against the Celtics, right? Like, because we were the minority, right? In this sci-fi novel, right? So I mean, this is what people who write novels do. And by the way, like, okay, it's like more like Twilight Zone. I identify as Rod Serling. Okay, so then there was that guy. Let's call him Brad. Okay, so like Brad was like, he hella thought he's got Scottish was cool, and he thought it's a kind of personality type. Sorry, he thought Scottish was cool. He thought John was really cool. He basically didn't like Winter, but he did he did basically understand, like, okay, well, Winter, like at least like he saw himself like kind of equal to Winter, but didn't like him. He kind of did like Jacob though, right? Like Josh. And then, but for Dan, he saw Dan as the lesser man, and it pissed him off that John also agreed with Dan about, like, okay, I will fight with Dan because we're doing like this like pair system, right? And then like he kind of fought in like the line behind me and John, right? Me and John are kind of like, you know, like just doing this like hella systematic shit. Okay, right? And then okay, and again, we're gonna play a little cross in a minute, but like, you know what I'm saying is that like there was a point in where and like, you know, like Scottish and like Usman like worked together. Winter, you know, like Winter and like Lil Wayne, like, you know what I mean, like we were just, but we weren't like, we were just part of the army, like, even though we looked different, like, and they thought we were cool and stuff, most of them. There was a Brad who, he was actually in a way the one who was like, if you're Dan, like, and that's why I didn't like Dan too. It was like, if you're Dan, like, even though this guy's like hailing the like minority, it kind of felt like I'm fucking with John though. Like, it feels like John's just kind of like, it's more of like just man to man right now. You know what I mean? Like he knew, like, and also I knew that guy like just personality wise didn't like me, and like Brad, okay, from Nigeria, and like, so in the year like let's say like 1702, right? Like, we were immigrants in Nigeria in 1702. Okay, like, and like we had to dip from the Scottish Islands, you know, and so like, so basically when it goes down, there's a point where it's like, like, okay, like, we're fighting, and like Brad kind of sucks dick, and we all know it. That's why he's not like John's, like, kind of like John's, like, even though like Brad wanted to team with John, is like in the first place, like, John was kind of like more of a dick, like, yeah, no, like, I'll fuck with Dan though, let's go, you know, like, exactly, like, and then I'm like, yeah, no, cool, you know, like, and so there's a point where Brad, like, you know, like, we were fighting and stuff, and then like someone gets through, and like, you know, like, me and John, sometimes we can only take out, like, we're like outnumbered, so there's like more, and they're kind of like assassin-y, like, some of them are actually pretty good, and they're like quick, and so like kind of like get past me and John, and like Brad's supposed to take that guy out, but like he kind of like, you know, he kind of like trips. He's kind of like an Assassin's Creed type guy. Like he like trips Brad, and then like, Dan and we're supposed to like basically like Dan and John are both there to possibly like within proximity of Brad, and then like, he's like on the ground. He's like, John, for the love of God, John, please help me. And then like John was like too like preoccupied, and then I was like just like hooked Brad up. I was like, ah! you know, like, and like I took out the Assassin's Creed guy, and then like Brad, like the fact that it was me, like I just saw he's like, "Oh, I hate you." He knows that like later on, like when we go back to like the village, like it's gonna be like established that Dan like saved Brad's life, and he would have been fine with it if it was John, but because it was Dan, like it's like he becomes like a spiteful man, kind of. And to John the whole time, like we're like listening to Brad, like me and John are like trying not to laugh the whole time we're fighting, because like we're listening to Brad back there, and like he just like it sounds like you know he's like, we already knew Brad was like a pussy, but like he just like the things that like we can just hear these sounds he's making that are just like hella gay. like it's like DZ. It's like DZ is like, actually DZ's alright. Like DZ's alright. You know, he still has like this. He's like he gets like weird when it comes to like me and John, but like, and that's one thing that me and John bonded over, is that like even Dan, like the white man, was like, yeah, DZ, all good, all good, yeah, but like. And that's why John liked Dan, because we basically both felt the same way about that man. Dan and John were a like-minded man. And then I also started pulling for John. I started being like, "Dude, even though he didn't quite speak the same language, I'd just be like, yeah, like, I actually felt like the way like I learned from John in terms of how to handle these like no, but like here's the real kicker, guys, is that like I dug I'm gonna say tribal warfare. Modern tribal warfare. Right. So, what's one? Boom. And these games are about strategy, real-time strategy. Like it, right? RTS, like right, real-time strategy, like just more hand-to-hand combat. So like that's where I specialize, in hand-to-hand combat simu. Like this is the thing. Me and like John is actually the best in bare knuckles, and like I'm one of the best in hand-to-hand combat simu, and I'm also good. It makes sense. Wouldn't it make sense that Dan's actually kind of good at fighting in real life too? Like, but not as good as John Jones. But John Jones is not as good in simu, which is totally fine. Like, and like all good. DC's go, not DC's go. It's all good. I actually really like DC, and because DC is like socially above me, like in general. Like, I think it's the guy I'm putting me on more of like an even slate with these. Like me and DC are friends because, like, you know, I'm still friends with these. Like, for sure. I think you would agree that, like, I'm somewhere in between. Like, I relate to DC in terms of having a female monkey that's like just not as attractive as you, but. No, Savannah's like actually like, yeah, like Savannah will like set you off. Like, okay, here's the thing. We're John and DZ, right? In terms of the idea of like the like rapey black guy or something, right? Like that black people are more like primal, right? It's like John and DZ both, right? So they would also both get a boner if they watched a Lena Paul video on, you know, John. And you know what I'm talking about. Right. These are and you know what I'm talking about. Alright. Okay. Now, whatever, get this one to John DZ possibly. Yeah. Like, dude. Like you guys understand, I'm telling a fucking story. Imagine we're around the campfire. Alright. And besides, later on, who knows? Like, this video will go up on YouTube, and then maybe John Jones 2 years from now will see it on YouTube. Did you see my point? And these as well. Right. So like, and John Jones has heard of me probably because I name drop. Okay, and whatever. This is really funny for everybody. Like, okay, so yeah. So anyway, that's what I was saying. Like the Brad was like the way he played was like because he wasn't as good in training and stuff. He started making it more about like that John Jones was like racist towards Dan, even though Dan liked John more than Brad. Okay, and that's why he kind of fucking hated Dan. Like, so I'd be like, yeah, Brad, dude, shit. Yeah, and the Brad server, he fucking hated me because like he saw me as the lesser man in some weird way, but like that had to do with personality. But then he still couldn't like really talk on me because he couldn't walk on me. You know, he couldn't block on me. So that's why he stalked on me, and that's why he hated that he couldn't pock on me, and I could pock on him, and I could spock on him. And here's the problem. Is that like everything he was saying didn't make any fucking sense, and then like that's why when we fought, he had no defense. Like there was no way he could win, right? Because he didn't listen, right? He was more like Rissman, and that's the moral of the story. Cool, so Blue's Clues, good deal. Maybe true. Who like anyone could be listening. Like maybe Savannah's name is like Kardashian, and she's just fucking with me. Gaming, bloody roll. Primal Fury. Okay, so I'm not like this novel I'm writing here, Bradbury, is not it's not related to contemporary U.S. politics whatsoever. But it rather relates to contemporary Australian politics. Have you been to Australia? Have you ever met an Aboriginal person? Have you ever seen an Aboriginal person in Australia? No fucking shit. Okay, please, yeah, run ads, yeah. Monetizing some territory. Please do. That's a good step in the right direction. Okay, please do. That's a huge step in the right direction. So like if we have an ad, right? That's cool. Let me make sure you're curious. Please do. Like that's fucking rad. If we can start to get ads, like we're not inciting hate speech, and this is like they'd love to make it. They'd love to pretend that this is Strawman Dan channel. I'm just boosting our YouTube. Right? Beautiful. Tribal warfare. Right? Like it's like what was like it in war games? It was like global nuclear thermo war or something, right? Okay. So what I'm saying is that if you don't fight, that could be even in the form of like playing shows and stuff, right? Or you know, being like Jacob's ex-girlfriend, she would do like she's a painter and stuff, so she was also good as fuck. She made money a different way. She liked to play, yeah. So a very charming young woman. I guess ex-girlfriend. Right. So, basically, unfortunately, but yeah, like, basically, like, yeah, but anyway, so here's what I'm saying. Is that like like she doesn't have to like be better than me at Smash Bros or something, right? Cool. Like, what she does have to do is understand, you guys, that a lot of like, right, that she is also like cool in her own right. Okay, so like to get to where she was at, she had to like be from 8 Mile with it, kind of. Okay, she put like a lot of time into it. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. So I'm like that too. But yeah, basically I'm starting to see like the right thing. Like, basically, for some people, you have to use the Force, and this is what they're talking about. The Force. Oh, why? Of course, you have to use the Force. Okay, like, hold on. Basically, like, people aren't necessarily like evil, but they will ultimately only get behind you once it's like the appropriate thing to do. It's like where it's like, oh well, this platform is promoting LGBTQ, which is what we do, right? Like Tomu and Kira are part of the platform, but they want to, like, because that's true, they want to like they're really weird. Like, they want to pretend that Tomu and Kira almost are like holograms, or I'm from a beautiful mind, and Tomu and Kira are phantoms in my mind. They want to act as though I'm somehow not friends with these people in Hollywood. Like, Never Lawrence, Mina Paul. I would Mia. Like, I would also say that's Hollywood. Okay, because they're like famous actresses. Like, in a way that I do not believe is demeaning, but I believe that like it is demeaning if you feel like you'll probably get laid if you hang out with them. Do you see my point? Like that. No. Like if I would love to go to Mia. I mean, while she's really hot, dude. Like, if I went to her, went with me and Savannah and stuff, like, and then like Mia and like maybe even Mia's boyfriend, right? Like, here's what I'm saying. Like, that might just be an open relationship, right? Like, that guy might be in porno too, right? So maybe it's like he'll feel less jealous than you. Okay, so like maybe it's a double date and Mia and her boyfriend, and maybe she has 3 boyfriends. Like, who cares, right? That's up to her. But maybe they want to go see Captain Marvel too, and like maybe me and Savannah are down for that. And then so then we go to like, and then like it's just like, oh hey Mia, it's like Mia's just actually just like really cute and really like fun-loving chimpanzee. That's why you enjoy your like her work, dude. Like, that is an attractive quality, to be smiling and laughing. Like, that you don't understand. Like, you should look in the mirror more. Like no one wants to hang out with someone who's like spiteful and stuff. Like, why the fuck would? That's why people don't want to fuck with you. Like, and that's the karma. It's like if you look at the world as like in Brad's worldview, right? Where it's like, but John Jones likes Dan, or Dan likes John. Let's put it this way, right? It's Ray Breber. It's like, but I'll be like, but yeah, no, like if he's calling John racist, it's like, yeah, but I like John though. Like me and John are friends though, right? And I have, okay, fine, okay. So how about, okay, but I like Kira though. Me and Kira are friends though. And then like that person, they want to act like in some weird way that they're better friends with like Tomu, for example, than I am. Like, because of their political, like Sean, right? Like, because of his politics are so like charitable towards Tomu. So, but Tomu, I've known Tomu, and Tomu has an older brother too, right? So me and Tomu also relate like that we are the younger sibling, right? So, it's the same kind of shit between Michael Zhao and Tomu. Uh, but Michael Zhao is like not Sean though. Right? Like I would fuck with Michael Zhao, but like more so than I would fuck with Sean. I think. Like Tomu, they're really actually competitive people too. Like, so, like I'm not the dumbass who's gonna make this like fight the racism argument with the racism argument, except for sometimes where it's just like, fuck you. You know, it's like, you are me too. Like, hashtag me too. Fuck you. So, which is hella real. Like, how about when it gets to a point where people are so ridiculous that it's only about what's like actually taking place. People will uphold take so many different angles and so many different beliefs. The only thing that's real, to put you beneath their feet, arbitrarily, the only thing that's real is the actual discrimination taking place because of American Hustle. Right? I kind of want to watch American Hustle, but like that DVD, I'm trying to use that as like evidence. I just like, was De Niro in that movie? Like, I was like, let's get De Niro in there. You know what I mean? He's not on the box, you know, like, maybe it was just a coincidence, but it didn't feel like it. Okay, so, and then that day I just went and got a coffee, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, I made it in the entertainment industry, and cool, I'm gonna get paid too. I literally went to the store, I'm like, can you just put it on my tab, like $30? You know, like, I was like, I'm gonna get paid soon, you know. That's the kind of shit they do. And I think that like a lot of the actors are actually pretty cool. They're also their little hole, you know. Like De Niro is also their little hole. Like it's these ridiculous people. And like I'm just saying that like there are things we could do that not even violent things. It's more like full Nelson. I'm a proponent of the full Nelson, right? Like, and then they can sue you, like. For putting them in a full Nelson. But you had a mask on in a full Nelson, and you put them in full Nelson. Or something, I don't know, like, you put them in a full Nelson. And then you made them sign something. Like, I'm a proponent of the full Nelson. Like, it's not that painful, you know. And then they're like, oh, and then they sign it, dude. Like, you have so much fucking money, it's insane. Like, it's not, you're not even gonna lose money. All it's gonna do is give other people money. Not even from your money. And you're like, oh no, I want to. Why? No. Dude, I'm not letting you out of this full Nelson. Like, no, they're that ridiculous, basically. It's true. It's just fucking true. Like, they're that fucking ridiculous. And thank you for everyone, like, who's, like, on my side. Understand that, like, I'm on your side and you're on my side. Like, that goes both ways. I will protect your name, and it, like, it could be a scenario where it's the other way around at one point, and then, like, I will be fighting on the front lines for you. Like, absolutely. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, we'll watch The Wizard as well. Ooh, and we're gonna listen to Random Access Memories. Okay. Alright, cool. So let's get cross segment going. Thanks for bearing with me there, guys. I just wanted to, like, get that story, like, the story of, like the Nigeria story, right, where it has a lot to do with minorities in the population. Like, but it's really almost like you can't even say that, like, differentiate between white, or you can't differentiate between black either, like, because, like, you can't go, well, there's a minority of, like, Nigerians, right, like, that's like saying, well, there's a minority of, like, Celtics, right, there's a minority, so you kind of have to bite the bullet on that, I guess, like, but you see what I mean, like, what's the point of looking at shit this way? Like, it's almost kind of like, that's not the game that we want to play. Let me just read this out. They're an economy wannabe jabroni guy, who for this, that, or the other believe John is the lesser man regarding regardless of Dan's inability to get a tan. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's like Willy Wonka land. Okay, like, they're an economy wannabe jabroni guy who, for this, that, or the other, believe that John is the lesser man, regardless of Dan's inability to get a tan. Dan is also gonna be the lesser man, and John would listen to that man. Hashtag Tova, hashtag spirituality, hashtag Christian, hashtag Hebrew, hashtag Muslim. Okay, because if John, if it becomes like more commonplace to fuck with Simu in UFC, which is probably gonna happen, John would absolutely fuck with Dan on that. I'd be like, dude, fuck with me on this. Like, and then it might actually work into the training. And I'd be like, okay, pick Matt Serra, bro. We're gonna go 3 mile right now, and then you realize that like where Dan's really cool is that I'm not gonna just like get off on it and make it like an hour-long lesson. I'll be like, teach him everything he needs to know in 10 minutes. I'm not gonna get off on it. I'm gonna be like, beyond that, John, you're on your own. But this is basically like, you're gonna win a lot if you're playing like this. Right? But, because some people like, they're actually, it's not that they're not good at the game or it's that they're immature necessarily. It's just that like they almost don't want this to be true. They want to be the more honest dude. So like that's why Cartman gets slept on. Okay, like Dan really like fucks with Cartman. Like like yeah, like ever since that's another thing that like where I realized like, okay, I just have to be I've always been Stan my whole life. Like Dan's always been like a Stan. And then they turned me into a Kenny. So then I decided, okay, fuck this. I'm gonna start like connecting myself more like Cartman. Like suck my balls, Gabe. Okay. Alright, suck my balls, Winter. Suck my balls, God. You can all suck my balls. Suck my balls, Savannah. Suck my balls, alright. You see my point? Like, you just have to get to that point where it's like Cartman is the truth. Okay. Suck my balls, Tommy. Suck my balls, Tommy, boyfriend. No, name dropping, dude. Okay. Okay. Look, we have to do this right now. And again, this is, oh shit. One of the scariest ones is the computer not charging Mile Road. Okay, cool. Yeah, it stands more like Toad. Like, he didn't go to the tournaments either. He's perfectly good at the game. Like if me and Toad team, we could win. Or like, that could happen. Alright? It doesn't matter if you won Evo or something. It's like, that game could go our way. Like, Toad might, like, get, like, some nice up smashes. Like, we were like Ferris Bueller. Right. So, shit. Okay, we might just bang on all cylinders. We might, put on the Wizard. Okay. Alright, which is one of my favorites. And then you'll see what I mean with Haley. Like, it's this girl in the Wizard, right? Who looks hella like Haley. Alright. And again, Savannah's mom was in the CIA. So, I mean, whatever. I believe in the Mandela effect. And then the kid in the Wizard just keeps be like, California. And he's like a prodigy of the game, right? And then he's good at all the games. Like, and then the Haley character's like, okay, we've gotten like, I forget what the character's name is, but the Wizard, the kid, like, he kind of has like, social issues, right? And like, we've gotten the kid good at every fucking game you could imagine that they could possibly throw at him. Okay, so I don't know, dude. She looks hella like Haley, and the character's name is Haley. Like, and they never back down. Okay, the kid looks hella like Charles, like Gabe's little brother, and the character's literally named Charles. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe people are dealing with these jabroni guys. And they know, like, people might be so smart as that. The Germans might like lean, dude. The Germans might like lean. You know what I mean? Look, why did I'm just posing this. I know that. I know that this is fucked up to say, but like, and I'm not denying. I'm not trying to say I'm like some. I don't know one way or another. I'm not trying to say I'm a Holocaust denier. But what I am saying is that like, why did why did Germany, just think about the politics. Like, why was that a war that began in Germany? Like, what was historically speaking, what do they say was the reason for that war? It had to do with people hoarding the wealth. Like, wait a minute, they're controlling the wealth. And then, like, when you learn about that in school, you don't really think about that. But there's, like, where are these people who are controlling the wealth? And so, like, maybe, like, there was, like, the Germans had a side to the discussion. Like, I have heard that in history, like, there might be evidence of, like, that German people were also, like, discriminated against, too, in Europe. And so maybe they weren't just like pure evil, but maybe it was more of like like they end up becoming like Jewish people versus German people, because like the German people were being starved of the wealth, and then like they didn't know like how to handle it. Like, just like me, like I don't know how to handle this either. All I know how to do is like use my like Rose like. And you keep playing the video games. I like largely more so than music. Like I'm still gonna play music from time to time, but like I don't really like to write anymore because it's a different feeling. It feels like people are always watching, and like it's not like that same like solace of you right like solace like solitude, like that feeling the songwriters get when they're writing. You know, like you're like this kind of like. You're like kind of tapping in it's just you and the guitar. And it's kind of this almost like spiritual, kind of like cool thing. And it's just not the same feeling anymore. It feels like people are like, and then because like the songwriting process too is like the song doesn't sound good at first. And it's just like really not fun anymore. Like, if the song's already written, then maybe, you know. Okay. I used to play for like hours on it every day. They realize that they do this to you. Like, if they like Eden, they want to see like how Eden practices. So they want like, without telling you. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons I'm so adamant about this shit. Because I know that they do that shit to Eden too. You know it's true. Eden has big boobs. And she's like, she's as good if not better than Blue. I think they were about like on the same level. And then she's very yoga and Gabe. He was like thing with Gabe, it's like, all right, Dan, we're gonna do some yoga. It's like I love to do some yoga I love to learn from Eden, you know, and not, you know, completely platonically. I'm not making some like sexual joke. Like, I love to learn from Eden, who's not gonna just be like making this, like just taking that much pleasure in it, Gabe. Like, or it's like Gabe is like Dan is the lesser man because of, like Gabe wants. It's kind of like that too. Where I love Chris G. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I just won Evo. Like, I won more than a few. Alright, look. Dude, if I invited Chris G to a tournament in Santa Cruz, I think he might fly out. Like. Okay. Alright, guys, so, boom, we got that. The Wizard is going in. I have soda. We have chips. What's the fucking Wizard? Dude, okay, you guys, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Check this out. Oh, actually, let's do this. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Also, people who have ADHD are good at fist fighting. They're reactionary. That's why you need medication to do the school thing. But it's just like it's hard to continue paying attention. You're thinking about something else. I'm not going back to school like this. In these games, I rule without medication too. Like, you see my point. I'm not the one who's still smoking a joint. It's a TV within a TV. It's a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. Okay. So, this is my copy of The Wizard on VHS. This is one of the ones where I'm like, I want this, like, I was going to watch it online because I like, really wanted to watch it. And then, I'm like, this one would be dope. I paid $30 for this. There's another one that has, like, a case. You know, it's kind of one more like those Disney. But, dude, this one's sick. It just has the sleeve. And you see what I mean? Like, this is a dope one to have on tape, dude. Like, this is hella sick. Like, so this was the movie that came out. So shut my out. Like, this is the one that so Super Mario Bros. 3. Like, this was an advertisement for Super Mario Bros. 3. It's actually a really dope movie. It's an advertisement for Super Mario Bros. 3 here soon. And dude, and she looks hella like Haley. Like, she has this Haley vibe too. Like, Haley is also so hot it makes people want to cry too. Right? So like, oh yeah, TJ knows I'm filthy rich. TJ knows I'm filthy rich, dude. Because he knows that Savannah's hot too. Cool. So, yeah, like Savannah's more like me, right? Haley might be right. I don't know. Maybe she had to think for that for herself. Haley, kill yourself. Hey, what's up, Chase? You got there, Chase. Why do I say Chase? Because like he also thinks the same way about you. Like he's also like kind of a proponent of like winning the war. Okay, like right, like I'm World War II family too, and also family in the South too, right? And hey, let's watch the championship, possibly. But yeah, like this one's a cool ass because in the 80s, it's like, well, I think it actually came out in like 91, but it's like, it's 80s as fuck, honestly. So this is one of the tapes that, like one of my favorite tapes. And that's why I like ABGM, so check them out. And also because they control the digital shit, so like, it's just a fucking physical format. Alright, so you can't fuck with that.
Where you can see the stars.
Also, it has Christian Slater in it. But Dan's more like Sean. That's like a diss. Why? Because like he doesn't actually want to fight. Like we're mammals, you know what I mean? Raleigh want to fight? Raleigh. Want what? Know what I mean? If John has something to say, I need proof. Well, it's just hearsay. Because that person is a proponent, super competitive and proponent of winning, and like would rather die than lose. Right? He's not down to lose. Yeah, I win in these games because of the styles I've used because I'm down to lose in more than a few. Right, just like people who are gonna start to prevail in FGC are going to be people more like blue. Blue guy. I definitely believe like I'm the wizard. California. When I listen to Rain Mattress Memories, I'm like feeling like walking with it too. What we're seeing in real time is the Wizard 2 movie. Oh yeah, like California.
They all want to go to California. One wants to go to California.
Oh.
You just stay put.
I've been like looking forward to playing cross second for a while.
Now
Who likes video games too? This is what I'm trying to prove. Like, even like the baby boomers will have to like kind of like appreciate like Tomu and Kira. You know what I mean? Like, and as do I. But they won't appreciate me because I'm me.
So, on districts that it takes.
And it's more like primal. It's more of this like, it has less to do with like politics or logic, but more just like disliking me.
look, he just picks up for the line. What is it in that thing?
Because if you actually want to talk politics, then let's talk politics.
I mean, you could go anywhere.
But I think a part what really has to do with is that you're really competitive too.
It doesn't go to, it never even goes to me.
But like, there's not. I am too, but I need proof. And that's why there's a lot of people who just dislike this personality type that really it makes a point of proving to you that you're a bitch ass pussy ass. And that makes you angry. Well, how am I the bitch ass pussy ass if I'm out to play?
He has a certain fixation.
You should have to play.
Build stacking. Is how mine
It's
is.
been this way since back in the day.
I'd like to think
Like that they just hate the way Dan plays.
I'd like to think that he's
And they hate that the way Dan plays gets laid too. Because that's one other more thing that they hold above men. In fact, that's their favorite thing in this case. But now you're also like should be disgraced because Savannah is like a really like more like sexual type of girl, right? Like she got more like Jay's daughter, right? She is kind of like Jay's daughter. Think of it that way. Like she also likes going Comic-Con and stuff, right? So, and she also has likes dildos, but not if someone else is like spying on her.
Is that something original, Dad?
Or maybe she like. I mean, what I'm saying is that like she finds humor in dildos, like, at the very least. Which is also one of just like actually having sex. As am I. Because like that is like the behavior of a more honest guy. So I try to refrain from masturbating, especially at this point. Like sometimes I like get really set off thinking about Savannah, and then I can't help it. Right. That's what I'm talking about, the Navy and stuff, like people in like the Navy and not being able to see their female chimpanzees. Like, I don't see why. They can't have sex at the end of the night. Why can't we have like more of like a Navy base that's like hella like protected, like anti-air guns and shit, and like and have their own high school and shit, like and have those kids would be like good as fuck, like, and then they probably would love to. I mean, would they love to play that team of football? Like, if it was like a Division II school, which is based on population, but they just have this really dense population of really fucking good players. Like, you don't have to be on the football team, but like, I don't see why not. They'd still get along. Like, they still like, you know. They could be like they could also be like a kind of a college town type place. Like, they could still go out on the town. There's still some way that the kids could get laid, you know. Like,
You didn't even care about who we had. All you care about is yourself.
I feel like kids movies used to be like more like mature. Now people are more observant. Okay. Like, in spite of all this shit, I'm still having a good day. Why?
South Dakota. Uncle's school.
Being comfortable in your own skin has nothing to do with being your ethnicity or anything, or like what someone else thinks of you. It's more about like who you want to be. Right? So it's more about who you want to be. Like, some people want to be good as Dudley, like Prince, the player Prince, who I am a fan of, wanted to be really good as Dudley, and he wanted to be one of the best as Dudley, and then he became one of the best as Dudley, so he became the person that he wanted to be, and so like. Right? Okay. Like, I wanted to be good at guitar. I wanted to know how to fight. I wanted to. So I trained with someone who trained like, yeah, I trained with Ross. I trained, like, you know, like, I also just showed up for the fight every time growing up. Like, I played hella guitar. I got hella good at guitar. I wanted to be one of the best in these video games. I became one of the best in these video games. Like, and then they start calling me Forrest Gump. And I think that's the joke about Forrest Gump is, like, that guy wasn't retarded, though. Like, he was clearly just, like, really smart. Like, it was other people who, like, spun reality. Like, he actually had to just think about it, like, really technically to be good at ping pong. But then I do believe that if you have some kind of disability, that people will actually kind of take you more seriously when you're talking about the game, too. And I'm mortified, mystified, petrified by you. Understand that? I'm mortified, mystified, petrified by you. And then we all agree it's kind of cool when he says that. Like, regardless, like, one way or another, it's, like, kind of cringeworthy in a way, but it's, like, you kind of feel him on that, like, mortified, mystified, petrified by you. Alright, go. I understand, I'm also, like, a hipster. But, when I was, especially, like, I would be, regardless of, like, age or one way or another, like, this is crazy. Like, what's happening right now is crazy. The stars have aligned. And understand that, like, no matter where the mind drifts from one place to another, but at the same time, if I had a kid, I'd want Savannah to be the mother. Okay. So, what do they have to say now? Like, what is it now that means that I should not be allowed? Right? We're both in our we're 26. Haley's sister is married and has a kid. Or excuse me, Savannah's sister is married and has a kid. So, and I know that she can hear me. I know she can fucking hear me. So, but then that they say I'm from a beautiful mind because I'm calling their bullshit. And like I'm not dumb as shit. Neither is she. So who the fuck are you? Just tell her what to do. What, are you gonna say it directly to her, or are you just gonna like be weird about this? So Dan can't get laid or some shit. Like they stole my computer too. It's like really weird. Like, okay.
Just until now, I thought it was guilt by association.
Okay. Alright, let's just get one. I'm just gonna play one really fast, so it's 1-on-1. Anything fast. Yeah, if your body was telling you to do something and then because someone else that you said, like, they didn't let your body do that because of someone else, like, you'd be fucking pissed. Yeah. Cart means truth, dude. It's true. Okay, so that's where I would have liked the raw tag for my opponent. But like Juri and this is kind of like you with Scorpion Freddy, like both my Bison and my Juri kind of get their ass kicked here, like, in different ways, and that's exactly what you want. I'm saying with the hard knockdowns, rotate. Okay. Oh, nice. I like it a lot. He had like the fool, like he wasn't too foolishly prideful. Cause like you're kind of like a bitch ass if you like raw attack. I feel like it's kind of like the vibe. But fuck that, I don't even care. Good shit. I'm not sure. All I know is that the way I need to take a piss really fast. This is my team right here. I love Juri. I even have the Juri controller. It's about like South Park. Maddie, did you get the Kuma one yet? If you're out there and you're listening. I'm sorry, I'm going to reply to you soon. But I need to clean my room first. I'm just going to get my shit back. Clean my room, apply. And then reply. Apply to Little Caesars, and then reply. Yeah, no, it's reply to Little Caesars.
$26.
Well, we only have $27.30. What does that get us?
No. It's $34 just to St. George, Utah.
Can't see it? $50,000 on the dragon? Hi. I'm Haley, if you don't tell me you're doing this for me. Could you stop whining? What do you think, I'm stupid?
Yeah, like basically if you agree with me, they're gonna do the same shit to you. It's more, they're more like sadists. It's a cult thing. They're more like sadists. They don't you think that you can appeal to them logically. It's not true. Like what you can do is appeal to other people logically, that who are beneath them.
Yeah, you could wax it. No way. What would that? How much? $6.70. I don't care, $6.70. Well, that's okay, because I'm busted. Can't you laugh?
I think that like there's a weird thing where like because they act like little kids, they start to be like attracted to little kids.
Let's see him beat that.
Okay, right on. Let's go ahead and choose character. We'll do 2 and 3. We'll see. Whoever wants to play, if you're hacking my computer, bro.
What is he, some kind of freak or something? That's it. Hey! Put it sick. You caught me! I think I put it back. Give me that knife. Great. Nice. Oh, I'm so cute.
Hey. Where the hell are we?
What is that? Donuts?
Yeah, some.
It's disgusting.
From the guy who steals my pickup and stays up drinking, the guy with the foul mouth. That's a compliment. Where are we?
Oh. We're supposed to be heading west. It's next to the cupcake truck, right?
We're heading west.
We're heading west. We're heading south. What the hell are you doing?
I've been driving the whole damn night. I must have stopped 50 times and asked about where those kids are. Come on. It's easy.
We're the inside the canyons, man. Just turn around.
Give me that thing.
What are you doing? You lost your mind?
I understand that the main thing that they do is use politics manipulatively. They do not use politics like you.
He's a wizard. So he can play your head. So I got an idea. If he can beat me, why can't he beat me? Could pick up some loose change. genius, a pro. He picks it up like this. Why do you want to haul him off to California? California. I got it. You want to go to California, and you want to prove that Jimmy doesn't belong at home. Do you think they put him in a home after he won this?
Ooh.
A video game.
Oh, shit.
He's
Good ass game, though.
too stupid. You sure not the genius you are trying to get to California for $2 bucks? You don't believe in it yourself. What's maybe you anyway? It's a business deal. If I can get you to California.
I can say one thing, that like the blue is a lot about being like the lesser dude no matter what. For whatever reason. Like okay. No matter what you do or do, you're the lesser dude no matter what. Okay. So like that's why it's like Brawley, for example, could, not saying this is Brawley necessarily, but like Brawley could be the lesser. Like what I'm saying is that like no matter how many times Brawley wins at the game, Brawley will still be it's like a frequency too. Like it's like there's like a vibration with blue, in all colors, right? Are actually vibrational frequencies, like reflecting. It's just like they're like, it's really cool. It's like they're reflecting certain frequencies. Like colors are frequencies. Like, you know, vibe. There's a certain vibe from different people, right? So I have a blue frequency. Right, like that makes sense. Like a vibe. Okay. Alright. There's a vibe. Something that's felt more than something that is. Alright. Something that's more so felt. Alright, you have closed eyes. Alright. Something that's felt. You get a certain impression of vibe. Sometimes you get a bad vibe, right? That guy's a different vibe. It could be like an evil blue. Right? Like a bad evil blue. Right? But like, I'm a good blue. You know, like, Savannah's a good pick. Savannah's a good person. So if you compare me and Savannah, like, right, to child molesters, then me and Savannah are the good guys. Look at it that way. And they kind of hate Kimberly too. They always will. And she's easy to hate. I've been participating in that. I was like, yeah, dude, you're right. She's not even on. She's crazy. You're right. So, but that's because like I felt basically like I wanted to be with her and she didn't want to be with me. So then like to get, you know, Gabe threw me a lifeline though, and he did admit like, yeah, no, she does like you. But you know what? Fuck it. Like, she's crazy. Like, yeah, you're right. Okay, tattoo. So like, no matter what Brawley says, no matter what Brawley does, no matter how many times he wins, you will always be. And this happens to me too. It's what I'm saying about Blue. Like they're obviously for it depends on the person, right? So like Dan plays the game too, so like it's different. But like for I mean, well, even if they don't mean to, they're still going to like put Brawley. They're gonna be like condescending to Brawley. And for Brawley, it's like it gets like one where it's like kind of funny. Like, he has a good sense of humor about it. Like I kind of do that too, but like I have more. It's always hard not to, but like I have more of a sense of humor about it. It's like, good ass game now. Like I'm much like above Brawley in every way. Like, yeah, Brawley, like good ass game. Good ass game. Like I'm like that much of a dick, you know what I mean? There's a part. Okay, Brawley, if you're out there and you're listening, like there's a part of like if you're me, like or if you're like not disabled, like there's a part of you that you have to fight off, like override, that feels like that, like you're being like I don't know, like what's the word I'm looking for, like discriminatory or something. Like you're really like discriminatory towards disabled people. Like, this is what I'm saying, like the light side of the force is hella powerful. Like usually, like I'm a nice guy and I'm friends with, like, I don't give a fuck if you're black or you're disabled or this or that. I give a fuck if you're whack. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not allowed to say whack because I'm not black, even though I'm from the Bay. Like, that is insane. Okay, like, people talk, you have culture, so there's a Bay culture. So, like, saying that's whack is part of Bay culture. So, how many times do we have to watch kids is the question. Okay. Okay. So, oh yeah. So even if someone says, right, that like they're more mature, and so the point I was gonna make about DC and John, like if they saw Lena Paul, they'd get an erection, like, but they would be more mature about that, right? I think that Tommy Lauren is hot as shit, right? That I might get set off by Tommy Lauren's looks, right? And then that guy, but I'd be more mature about that. Like, her husband is also really attracted to Tommy Lauren. Like, and that guy also kind of like has it good. Like, you know what I mean? And so do I. And then that guy is the same way. Like, that guy would also, if like, see Savannah has big boobs, right? And so that would kind of set that guy off too. But like he would be more mature about that. And then I would happily shake that guy's hand regardless, and right, like we both are more mature. Like I can be friends with Tommy, he can be friends with Savannah, and like that's cool. Like, and I care more about like personality types than I do about politics, because I know that like politics like are not, you know, like what's actually gonna be effective. And here's the thing, is why I think I'm actually a better player than Tommy. Is that like what I'm doing is proving shit. Like I'm proving it. Like I'm not in terms of like being a conservative, but actually more left leaning, and I'm proving it. Like this is not a free market economy. For example, like I'm proving that to Tommy. Tommy would be forced to change her opinion or face cognitive dissonance. So I'm saying I'm not on Tommy's team. I'm not on like Alexandria Cortez's team, you know, like I'm on my own team, like, and so, like, that's where I'm a political progressive. Okay, so, and I urge a lot of conservatives to do that, but they're grooming Tommy to be like this Republican. Right? Once you're a Republican, you're fucked. Okay. Like, if you're conservative, that's one thing. If you're liberal, that's one thing. Once you're either a Democrat or a Republican, and you're in your political commentator and you're in politics, you are fucked. Your head is in the noose. What I'm saying is true. Like, they put your head in the noose. Right. So, what I would say is get away from that, far away from possible, and just start a singing career. Move to like the Amazon. You know, like. In a different reality, me and Tommy would get it on. In a different reality, Tommy's husband and Savannah would get it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it on. We'd get along. Like, me and Tommy, if we went to like, let's say like, if we went bowling together, would let's say that me and Tommy went to Comic-Con together, we would get along. Or like, and Jay's daughter was there too. And maybe Jay. I'm like a Clerks guy. Is where I like Sloan. It's like I'm just like this guy from Clerks. Like, I mean, I'm pretty fucking good at the game. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay. But because of like a jabroni guy, I'm not allowed to see Savannah. And this is where it's like, I would be playing a lot differently. It doesn't matter even what any of my friends say or this or that. Like that shit's whack. Like that's exactly why I'm playing the way I am. And that it's possible for my friends to be the age of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a possibility. Like that's why I've set this up. So like even if that disagreement is to occur, that like and someone is to be absurd, the platform is still there. It's still there at the end of the next day. And who are they, right? Dude, I've explained that so many times. It has to do with the Freemason Lodge in Washington, D.C. Freemasonry. Dude, So if you have all the money, then you can buy the politicians too. Right. So you buy the media outlets and the politicians. So how can you deny that having all the money isn't the truth? If you have the money, you can buy the laws, you can buy the politicians. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm neither a liberal or a conservative. I just live in reality, and this is scary for people like who have like branded off of a conservative platform where it's like, in theory, a free market economy is great, but no, because if the person has more money, it doesn't matter if there's antitrust laws or and conservatives are pro like a less regulated marketplace. Like, but no, here's the problem. Like in a way, they're right because like the conservatives are hella right in a way, like because like you can buy regulations, so you can make it impossible to start a taco truck, right? You can make it like way too much of an. It's impossible to acquire that investment. So to keep people like in the lower class, in the middle class, and like, but you can be selective about it, right? So you can also boost people's platforms on social media and shit, and then you can suppress others. So if there was a draft, me and Tony's boyfriend might die by each other's side like brothers, and along with Shapiro, if there was a draft. That would be really funny. It shows that we're spoiled chimpanzees. Like that, like my grandfather was in the Navy. Like, fuck off. So some people just like to talk. Like politics is about talking too. Like, what I'm saying is fucking true. If you have the money, then you can make it so Ghost Town Rangers doesn't have any money. Not only do you have hella money, you can make it so like certain platforms have no money. And look, what I'm saying is proof. Sorry, conservatives, this is utter proof that that's true. And regardless, and here's where I like, both like and dislike, depending on which liberal it is. Like, this is an LGBTQ platform, so you're like participating in suppressing an LGBTQ platform because you're identifying for their white PR guy, who is trans. I think I'm like making it. Well, then, but then Tomu's trans then. Okay, so Tomu's allowed to self-identify, but I'm not. Okay, fine. It's right where the blue is coming from. It's like, that's cool. All right, well, but you're still suppressing Tomu and Kira. Okay, but then now they're bad people because they're with them. This is what I'm saying. It's more like primal. It's more just like, I have a heart for them. Like, and I actually really like them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the sad thing. Like, and I just believe that Dan is evil and he's crazy. And then Dan, like, the assertive person, he's like, okay, please be specific. What is the allegation of racism, like, specifically based on in terms of my stance? Okay. Well, I believe that some of the things you said are, and that I could have compassion for, and that's like I would happily agree that like it's taken me a while to get to this point, or like where I'm realizing you have to lose a lot, you have to say a lot, like experiment a lot, right? So that I could absolutely sympathize with and apologize for, but then I would have to hold your feet to the fire, and this is where, right, I'm not trying to be a dick, right? Because like, I do believe that metoo favors myself. Speaking for myself, like, which is a little scary for you, right? And it's like kind of, like you just say sorry, like, well, I didn't mean, like I'm sorry, right? And then, well, I didn't mean to make you feel molested. Okay. I feel like I've been molested, and I feel like I'm consistently, like this morning, I felt like I was molested this morning. Because I believe I should have privacy when, like I get blue balls even, right? Like basically like if you don't ejaculate, and you're a man and you don't ejaculate, for like long enough time, and you're getting like sexually aroused, like basically you start to get this dull aching in your testicles. So I do have to masturbate sometimes, even though I don't enjoy really masturbating anymore because I feel as though someone's like watching. Okay. And so, and where I'm trans. Okay. April. I actually identify more feminine. It's like April was born with this like feminine side where it's like actually because I have felt so molested, and I'm an Australian person. Like Australian people are really hot. Okay, like regardless of where fair skinned people are really hot too. Okay. Like I'm really into Celtic chicks. Okay. So what I'm saying is just true, and like I'm not trying to, like basically I'm not trying to, like, it should not be seen as like an attack. Right, that's where you misunderstand me. Like, I play these video games, right? So we have to live, like, we have to be really, like, we have to track everything very carefully to get to the highest level of play. We have to track why was that working and why was that losing. And then, like, you get to a point where it's like the other person's really good too, so it just kind of like, you do your best out there. And you can only understand the game so much. But, like, you both have a special touch, and that person's tracking you just as much as you're tracking them. Okay, basically. And that's why it's like you hit them and they hit you as well. And like maybe you're using this move a little more often. They catch on to that. They know you're going to jump in. Right? Like I got caught off a bunch of jump ins on that. Like they know that my Juri likes to jump, like go for hella cross ups. Which means I jump over them and use a move to hit on the other side. So I have to switch the way they're blocking. They know that my Juri loves that option. So they'll use an anti-air more often. So like, but sometimes I exert that option a lot because, you know, then I'll go for maybe like a low, like I'll sit and sit because I know they're going to want an anti-air. So they're actually playing kind of ballsy. So I can also just kind of like wait for that and block, and then it's punishable. So the game's programmed really fairly in a way. So because if they go for that anti-air and I block and I just hold back instead, I wait a little bit. I play like more patiently. Then they might just go. You know, they're really good. Okay. So to be catching those jump-ins on my opponent's part was really smart. All right, and like it was a close game. That right. So and so basically all I can do is eat that. Like, and as you can see, I still tried to like Daigo as well. It does this. Like, even if it's getting punished once or twice, I'm still exerting that option because that's kind of my game. So like ultimately, Ultimately, because that person's actually really good to use it like twice, or like that, it speaks to that person's intelligence. Like they know that Dan's still going to try to exert this option yet again, even though I just kind of burned him for it. Okay, and you can refer to me as him or her, right? Like, and because it's not gender fluid. It's more like I always carry feminine characteristics and masculine characteristics along with me. It's why I'm not trans in the traditional sense. Like Tomu's more traditionally trans, regardless of not wanting to have bottom surgery. Right. So what I'm telling you is that where I'm trans is that like you could say I'm cross-gender, right? So I'm both genders, right? In that like, and I believe I identify scientifically. I believe that like I'm the product of both female and male character like genes. Like my mom had female genitalia, my dad had male genitalia, and all the monkeys that came before them, same thing. Right. And so, like, a lot of them were like pretty female monkeys, and some of them were like more manly male monkeys, right? And so now I have both like the pretty kind of artistic girl, like, and I also have hella genes from like manly, and that's just how I identify too. That's how I fight too. Like I fight off my back. Like for me, the way I fight is like I very well am probably gonna end up on my back if it's someone who's good at grappling and shit. So basically, I want to end up on my back in a way that is like I want to like control how I end up on my back. Like basically, it's like I ultimately want to end up on my back. So I'm going to, and I know that's gonna happen. So I'm going to try to like lean into that, if that makes sense. So by the time I'm on my back, that person's head might be in my leg, and they might be eating elbow strikes, like because of how I fell onto my back. All right. That's how I've been winning fights since I was a kid. Okay. Is by kind of like knowing that I'm gonna end up on my back and then like ending up like falling onto my back well. Okay. The way I fight is from hell. Okay. But because I can also beat them by as them, not because I'm 6'2" now and I'm not 5'6" anymore, right? So even the way I physically fight is both like straight hand right more masculine, then off my back more feminine, like to get the aggressor, right? To beat the aggressor. Okay. So there's a move actually that if someone's trying to rape you as well, it's good to have flexibility to push them away from you. Okay. Like this is what I mean. Daniel April Sullivan Ravine. Like okay, so I have a history. Why am I so flexible like this? Tomo's also very flexible, very pretty monkey. So if you're very pretty, it attracts a lot of unwanted attention too. I believe in terms of evolution theory, that's why I'm able to do this. Okay, because I believe that rapey people are egregious in their logic even. Okay, so that's what makes this game even. So now their head's here, right? So I can get my leg. So now their head's here in my leg, and now that fool just got cracked. Daniel April Sullivan Ravine. Now it's Daniel. All right, so now this is April. Meet April, right? And now meet Daniel. All right, motherfucker. All right. So that's exactly why I'm trans, right? And it's based in my physiology too. So regardless of what you say about whether our white PR guy is trans, that guy believes he or she, whichever you prefer, is absolutely has the same merit to identify, just in terms of living reality and logically, right, as Tomu. So you might as well call Tomu Cassius. Why don't you just call all of us Cassius? Why don't you call every one of us in Ghost Town Cassius? Because Zoe also identifies as a girl, right? Zoe's really girly. So why don't I say that, well, Zoe, you're really cross-gender. Because you have both male and female genes. But then Zoe was like, no, I identify as a girl. And I'm like, no, Zoe, this is just true. You have to move both male and female genes. So like, well, then she goes like, well, I also just have female genitalia and I identify based off of the fact that I have female genitalia personally. Like, that's what makes me comfortable in my own skin. And I'm like, well, Zoe, yeah. Like, no. And Zoe, you have to be Hebrew too. Like, okay, because guess what? Like, what I'm saying is true. Like, it's simulation theory. And it's Elon Musk, and it's true. But then Zoe's like, well, I get that, but maybe I am agnostic because I don't agree with your logic. All right. Well, my logic's true, Zoe. And then you don't understand that the other person, it's interpretive. Okay. So when Dan says he's Hebrew, it's not the same as when Shapiro says he's Hebrew. You want to act like you want to simple, like, you. Right. Do you see my point? I don't want to make this an attack. Okay. But for you, it comes down to a very simple thing. No does not mean yes. One does not mean two. Okay. So for Dan, it's important that you're not allowed to identify for me religiously, in terms of gender, in terms of my name, in terms of, like, just why? Because it's convenient if I'm cool. I win in the fucking game too. So like, now I need proof from you. If you want to identify for me, I might need proof from you. Hashtag me too. Because I haven't done this to you. And it's okay, but just see, it's an attack. Like, don't take this as an attack. Like, I want to live harmoniously with you. I'd happily work with you. Like, I'm a Ravine to like Brandwell. Do you see how like this hat and this shit looks cool as hell? I have like green pants on. My shoes are pretty cool. This is a Melbourne brand. It's called Globe. My friends are pretty cool. Ross is pretty cool. Tomu's pretty cool. Kira's pretty cool. Savannah and Haley are pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like a guy who works at a record shop, right? You kind of get that vibe. I'm kind of like Travis Barker or something, right? Like I'm into skate punk and stuff. I'm into skating. I'm into punk rock music. I'm into fighting. I like watching MMA. I like training. Okay. So, and I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. April's good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Daniel's good at Muay Thai. Okay. And when Dan fights Muay Thai, it's basically he only uses one strike. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, like, assertive. So there's a reason I only use one strike. I only need one, right, to end that competition, to end that contest, right? Because it's going to be fast. No matter how much you have a read on this, there's timing to. I can also just like wait a minute, right? And then I'll go in for a grappling exchange, and then that's kind of more April for the takedown, right? And then like April has angles, right? April's kind of more like lanky. Does that make sense? Like, and then when it hits the ground, though, meet Daniel. All right. So April and Daniel work like harmoniously. Okay, and the way I identify is really cool. It's like really creative. It's like a really creative and and I would say scientific way to identify as well. Okay, so I identify differently than the conservatives and the liberals. This is what they want you to have to like pick teams. This is what why we're suppressed. Like they don't like people who they don't like the idea of actually self-identifying. They didn't like Ali either because like they want to keep calling him, for dear life, they want to keep, and a lot of black people do, want to keep calling him Cassius. Okay, he didn't like the name Cassius. He liked the name Muhammad. I don't like the name Lorty. I like the name Ravine. So even if you say I'm not trans because of your logic, I have to abide by your logic, right? Well, why don't you have to abide by my logic? So what if I said that you're cross-gender, actually? Because of Kinsey, and you're bisexual. And you're cross-gender. So you're not a boy or a girl, but you're both. Would you disagree? Why? Okay, so why do I now have to identify it by your... Because so you know me better than I know myself, then. I disagree. I think that I identify in a way that I really am comfortable with, and I think that makes a lot of people jealous because it's like really cool. Like Dan's really cool, and I think you're really cool. That's the problem. Like the argument is on your side. You're just Brawley could also identify differently. And Brawley, like I don't even know the guy's name. There's a tag in the game. I'm blue guy. Brawley also plays as Chun-Li, blue. Like Brawley's lesser than you. But no, you want to say that Brawley's superior to you because Brawley's more disadvantaged. Here's what I'm saying about the story of John and Brad and Dan. Right? So me and Brawley are friends with each other because we're both. The first character I mained in this game was Chun-Li. So I actually am also pretty good as Chun-Li. Like I can beat Brawley as Chun-Li less than half the time. Okay. So. Like I have a soft spot for Chun-Li, and everyone likes to watch. Like in the games of Capua, it's fun to watch my Juri versus Wolf Crone's Sea Viper. Same with like for example, like Yipes as like Yipes as like if Yipes is playing as like let's say like Cammy, and then Brawley's playing as Chun-Li, like it's just fun to watch, especially when the guys plays the girl characters. It's like kind of cool, like the games are political. I pick my look. You see, Morgan, she's guarded. I'm really good as Morgan too. Like I'm like that too. Like step. Like okay, because of rapey people. Like so, I'm saying like you might not realize that you're imposing. Like right now I'm streaming, and then you have consent, and it got to a point where I had to say, April was born of this, and a woman punched me in the fucking face as hard as she fucking could when I said, I disagreed to a fight, and it was a woman that night, right? Because everyone can have anger in their own life, so like she fucking hated me, and I was sitting on my skateboard, This is the night April was born. And then, like, my boss just accused me of being a substance abuser. And that's, like, basically, you know, put me down. And then I had no money. My car broke down. Right? I just asked for $1. Asked a woman for $1. She had a dog named Danny. Right? I asked her for $1. Right? And she not only said no, she made it very clear that I shouldn't have even asked. Okay. And then and then she's like, put your hands up and your chin down. Like I always say, right? Like, and then I'm like, no, you know, whatever, you know. And again, I was kind of also said fuck you, basically. I was like, sorry, I fucking asked, you know, right? Like, and then she's like, and then she got really mad, and then like, she was kind of like Persian Empire. She's like, oh, and then like, I was like, whatever, you know, like, and then I was shocked, dude. She fucking smacked me, like, I was like, boom, like, I was like, dude, she was strong, dude, like, and that was the wrong thing to do, and then like. I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking call the police or some shit then. And then like when I went into Safeway, just asked if I could use their phone, right? And then or to buy like some soda, right? Then they were saying that someone was punched in the face, but it wasn't. They were already posturing, like, and I didn't even give a fuck, like, right? But they were saying that like talking about how someone got punched outside, but it wasn't me, right? So then I went back to my car. And it's when April was born, like, it was, like, actually a religious experience. Like, I went back to my car, and I wouldn't start, just to kind of put shit, because I was going to have to walk all the way home from Redwood City to Palo Alto. Because, like, but then I, like, decided, like, shit, I think I have my AAA card, I'll call AAA. And then, like, I was calling AAA, which I've called AAA many times, it's always a 5-minute phone call. But then, no matter what I did, no matter what digit I punched in, or what the fuck I did, it was like a little kid talking to me. It was an automated fucking thing. And then like, and then I felt like I died. Like literally, I felt dead inside. I was like, felt raped. I was in the position of like being raped. Like, basically because people were playing little fucking games that are still continuing to this day. All right. And in this game, when we play, one person wins and one person loses. All right. So, I was like, basically, I don't know. There was no feeling ever like I've never felt anything like it. It's like for me. There's always been a path to like redemption in my life. Like even when I got rejected by Savannah, which was the same feel, not the same feeling, like a feeling of like really like a low, like a really like low. It felt like I can still play guitar though, and I can still like get like basically I can still like fight back in my own journey, right? And like it's okay if Savannah doesn't like me back, even though I like really dig her. It's okay. Like I can ultimately like bounce back from this, and like I'll just focus on myself too, right? But in this case, it felt like there's nothing I could do because everyone was lying. Right? Right, everyone around me is lying. Right? And now, not only that, but they're rubbing salt in the wound in a way where they think it's really funny, right? And so, and they're running away, and they think it's really funny. And then I'm in my car, and I already made this video, which I never sent out, which still exists, of like, where now is fucking pissed. Like, all right, Gary, yeah, I made it about Gary. Like, Gary's accent, right? This is a car, right? This is happening because I work hard. This is a car, and you don't have the key to this car. Why don't you have the key to this car? Right? Is how you open the trunk. Is how you open the hood. All right. You need the key to do that. Right, exactly. I did not give you the fucking key. And they want to call me Steven or some shit, right? You need the key to the car to enter the car. So if you steal someone's key or you make a copy, that is the wrong thing to do. You didn't have consent. Okay. For that person to enter the fucking car. Okay. And so, but then they think as it's a digital key, that it's really funny. So that video really, and then it was like April. Remember, you know, in the Skater Boy when it's like the helicopter and she's like standing on top of like a car and shit. Okay, Avril, right? And then it felt like, and then eventually the police came. And there was no way I could call AAA. Someone did the right thing, right? I felt I was dying. Like it was like. I can't, I want to die, but I can't die, kind of, like, basically. Like, this is, like, so, like, they don't even fucking confront me. Like, they like, right? And this is still going on to this day. Like, I'd love to lose to you. Like, I'd love to fucking lose, but you don't even have to play. Like, basically, it's like, you don't win or lose. Like, and then I can't win or lose because you just play in a way where it's like, and then but you make me lesser anyway. All right? Because I'm the one who wants to play. And so it's like, it's my personality type too. It's like, they don't even have to fucking, no one has in this whole time. Like, some people have, actually. Like Mark, my friend Mark, right? Whose skin is dark, right? He's more of like a Rasta guy, kind of. Like, he broke the fourth wall straight up, right? Aiden Ross, all right? Like, Jared, too. Like, Savannah. Like, Winter, kind of. Like, Ross. Hella times, right? Tomu, right? Like, people have done this, right? And, people have won this. Chris G, right? So that's hella different. Like, than these people where it's like they have so much money that now the AAA fucking shit is also, they bought that shit too. And because it was the funny thing to do. Okay. And so now I just need a fucking tow. Alright, in this car that I love. You know what I mean? And I'm not allowed to drive to this day because they own psychiatry too. And I'm too crazy to drive the fucking car. Okay. Okay, right. So then, even though I can win in the game, if there's proof, if Dan needs proof, and then, but they can't present said proof because they can't actually fucking beat me, right? And there are people who can, like Brawley can beat me, but that's one of the people who's nicer to me, right? So, Chris G can beat me, but that's one of the people who's nicer to me. Winter can beat me, Toma can beat me, Ross can beat me in MMA, right? Like, Savannah can, beat me in, like, volleyball, right? Like, that, like, look, a lot of people are comfortable in their own skin and are nicer to me, right? So, some people like to rape children and are meaner to me. Why the fuck would you want to rape a child? Why are you even psychologically, why are you even sexually attracted to children in the first place? Okay. And then someone was really nice and they called the cop, and literally just out of, like, survival, I said that, like, my name was April. Like, so now I'm trans, okay, right? So now you're gonna be, like, and the cop, it did have a noticeable different, he was a nice guy regardless, right? He was cool regardless, but, like, he was more wary of the situation because I said my name was April and I look male, okay? And then, but when I said that my name was April, it was like, it felt like even just coincidentally or something, right? Like, by chance, like, dumb luck, let's say. And like, wow, actually, that has a ring to it. It that in my soul resonates, right? So, April. And then there's, like, April Ravine, right? And now Ravine resonates with Savannah as well. And that's, like, because Ravine's a stripper name, too. April Ravine were two names that were not given to me. Those were two names that just kind of, let's say, materialized in my life largely because of the way that other people played hella more rapey. So you might realize that, like, you're not realizing how rapey you are because you are, like, the eternally, you can do no wrong, is it saying, like, this person can do no wrong. Okay, maybe I feel molested, and I'm not trying to make this an attack, but this is exactly why April, I didn't even just decide that. Like, it just occurred. Okay, like, so, and then I'm processing that. It's like, so, I'm Daniel April Sullivan Ravine. So, I have both masculine and feminine characteristics. Like, typically, like, it is females who are rape victims. But, like, in this case, I'm a male, like, rape victim, okay, basically. It's like a weird subject, and Ross is too. All right, right. Ross is pretty, also really pretty, and it was a male dude. Right on, dude. So I'm telling you, I'm Daniel April Sullivan Ravine. My tag is Blue Guy. I play Melee, NorCal. I'm just sharing my story. Right on. I'll play a little bit more. I'm playing computers right now. So I plays M. Bison and Juri. Juri also represents April. Right? M. Bison represents Daniel. So like my team in this game also, like my primary name is Daniel, my secondary name is April. To represent masculine and feminine characteristics. Right on, dude. So a lot of people hate playing against M. Bison because he's like unorthodox. Also, I don't think it's bizarre. I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing your story. I'll just largely I make these for YouTube videos, like to be like replayed later on. I'm more of like a video. Think of me more as like AVGN. This is like a really convenient way to like pump out content because you can download the MP4 afterwards. So that's to say, like survivors are really strong people. Because a lot of people are just basically immature. Like I share my story, but they believe me, they haven't heard a word. They didn't hear a word. Because like they're trans or something. Like it could be whatever, you know. And that's what like their confidence largely comes from the fact that they're trans. So like Dan's not allowed to like also be trans. Okay, I'm gonna shift games. I'm actually gonna switch on over to Darkstalkers 2. I'm gonna end this stream here. Nice to meet you. And I see 3. I am 3. I'm the age of 3. Nice to meet you. And I'll catch you guys for the next one. Now they're trying to posture as... Wait, let me actually show you guys this. They're trying to posture as though, oh, what are you doing on Twitch? What are you doing doing political activism and doing, like, being Rosama Yunus about this, basically. Yeah, let me just show you really fast. The Dark Side of the Force basically just plays the way they play is unreal. Or like, basically like, okay, I see 3. And understand that C is 3, basically 33. So like, I'm not sure I see 3. So I am 3. I am the age of 3. Like they want to act as though this Twitch page is kosher. Like, and that, like, do you see like the way they play? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And it's sup, dude. Like, right? Like, it's just ice. Okay. Do you smoke ice? Right on. And that's it. I'll give you a follow. Nice to meet you. Sorry if I mischaracterized you. Oh, he plays in Bison. Right on. Cool, man. Well, I'll give you a follow. I'm going to end this one here. Right on, dude. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream out. I'll give you a follow. And if you want to follow us back, Ghost Town is a multimedia collective. We do like music. We play FGC. Like we're in FGC music. And my tag's Blue Guy. We do like like paintings and stuff. Right on, dude. Cool. All right, I'll catch you next time, man.